Eskom is the lifeblood of our economy. Without electricity, we don't have an economy. Job creation is stifled, and for many people, putting food on the table becomes challenging. The Township Entrepreneurs Alliance conducted a survey earlier this year. It revealed that during load shedding periods, 64% of township small businesses ceased operations. Over 66% of businesses owners reported retrenching workers due to load shedding. NERSA increases electricity prices and attributes the rise to load shedding. The South African Reserve Bank increases interest rates, blaming load shedding. Stats SA reports that more than 11 million people are unemployed, attributing it to load shedding. Food prices surge and it's blamed on food security. In the midst of this crisis, there are people who are hell-bent on privatization of electricity generation for the sake of profits that will benefit only a few interested in quick profit. The premature closure of the Komati power station was not just misguided, it's the epitome of the industrial scale looting that is happening before us. This is the real state capture we are seeing today. If the Guptas did a state capture, they were playing. What we are experiencing today with Eskom makes Guptas look like a joke. Today, more than 300 people in communities near Camden, Grootfontein, and Hendrina, who were promised training as part of the so-called just transition when the Komati power station was shut down, are still waiting stranded, unemployed, and without income. But the collapse of the economy, public finance, and state-owned enterprises is just a symptom of a far broader systematic problem, corruption. When we formed the EFF, we correctly characterized South Africa as a kleptocracy. Every day we witness government leaders openly looting state resources, pursuing self-enrichment without shame, while the people of Hammanskraal lack access to clean water and drinkable water. The people of Spruitview in Mooiplaas live in a dump site. The residents of Stweta in Alexander are packed together like rats, and children in the Eastern Cape continue to use pit toilets, yet your state president goes and unveils Mandela's statue. Those close to political leaders will continue to grow richer and more corrupt because they know that their proximity to these leaders grants them immunity from prosecution. When we write questions in Parliament to probe questionable contracts and tenders, we are confronted with talk of confidentiality and classified reports. The victims of corruption are not only the poor. The business suffers the same fate when you institutionalize corruption and protect those in office from investigation and prosecution. Those with talent, hard work, entrepreneurial spirit will be overlooked. This is how you stifle innovation, hard work, growth, and societal progress. What is even more concerning is the fact that you can face prosecution for being seen with the leadership of the EFF, for refusing to support certain ANC leaders, or for choosing to speak out against corruption. You can be arrested for reporting corruption and have the one who is corrupt promoted to the highest office in the land. We have a personal experience of persecution that are motivated by political vendettas and agendas. We are not speaking about things we know nothing of. We are aware of many young business people who have suffered the same fate and continue to suffer. This is the background against which we formed the EFF. To fully appreciate the journey we have traveled thus far, we encourage those who have not had a chance to read our founding manifesto to do so. It will give you a broader appreciation of what you have contributed to and continue to support. We do not only characterize the current political and economic condition of South Africa, we go even further. We offer concrete and practical solutions to many of the challenges facing South Africa. We understand that some in the business community might overlook the solutions the EFF proposes under the assumption that they will not benefit. However, a closer look will reveal that while we have unapologetically placed the working class, the poor, and the marginalized as the primary and immediate beneficiaries of our struggle for economic freedom. Our strategic mission is to create a system that will guarantee meaningful economic participation for all, including the business community. Take, for example, our cardinal pillar number 1, land expropriation without compensation for equal redistribution in use. We maintain that all the land should be transferred to the ownership and custodianship of the state. Despite all the mischaracterizations and attempts to demonize this demand of many black Africans, this remains a bold move towards restorative justice and a path towards transferring wealth to the majority of the people. Many critics claim this will not work, that it will hurt business and South Africa will descend into chaos. But we disagree, and here is why. First of all, there is not the first time South Africa transferred strategic natural resources into the custodianship of the state in an attempt to address the colonial and apartheid imbalances. We have successfully transferred mineral and petroleum resources into the custody of the state in 2002. Today, you need a license to prospect and mine any mineral resources. Even with the license, the minerals still belong to the state on behalf of the people of South Africa. The same applies to water. All water is subject to the state control. None of you here has ever woken up one day and said, because the water is owned by the state, I feel like a less owner of my water that comes out of my tap. Yet you are not the owner of the water. The water is state-owned. You have never felt like the water coming through your tap is brought to you by someone else. You always felt that it is your water. Even when your children play with it, you always say to them, do not play with my water. You never said to them, do not play with the state water, because you know you are the state. We assert that the state custodianship of the land under democratic and effective state will give business a predictable business environment. Our policy is that business will get land use licenses for 25 years, which can be renewed if the land is used as planned. This is not only about history deciding who gets what, where the beneficiaries of colonialism and apartheid will continue to benefit. We must address this money, but also to support employment, transformation of the financial sector, and ensure that black people can create their own financial institution that transfer wealth to the majority of our people.